Hello, good evening. Tonight I'm transmitting from my ham shack. This is where I normally transmit with my radio. Here is my mic, just to show you. Okay, I would like to speak about the 20-meter band. The 20-meter band is also a shortwave band. It's a very popular one. It goes from 14.0 to 14.350 and is, I would say, a very useful amateur radio band with very distinct characteristics. So during the daytime, I would say it's a real workhorse. It's the DX band because it supports reliable distance communication during the day. And it really remains open even when higher bands like 15 or 10 meter are closed to low solar activities, so really stable. It is really excellent for international DX, so really for long distance, especially around sunrise and sunset. So when we speak about the gray line, you remember where the day goes into the night and night goes into day. So along this path around the world, you have a really good chance to make easy DX. Okay, so the signals really can travel halfway around the world with relatively low power and not too big antennas. So unlike the 10 and or 20 meter band, which are really influenced by the solar cycle, the 20 meter band provides consistent DX opportunities during all year, I would say. It is primarily a daytime band, but really can stay open into the night when solar activities is stronger. The nighttime skip tends to be longer, so you have more long haul paths. Okay. And because the 20 meter signal usually penetrate the D layer of the ionosphere, it is less of a problem than on the lower bands. So you have very few absorption during the day. That's why it's really working good during the day. So almost no absorption from the D layer. It is really heavily used during the contests and the expeditions because of its reliability and really worldwide reach. And it works very well with very simple antennas. So a simple dipole, verticals, even mobile antenna. I do a lot of mobile activities with in the 20 meter band, and it makes life a lot easier than the 40 or the 80 meter band when you're mobile. Okay. There is also the CW portion, which is around from 0 to .30, .030. It's just in the beginning of the band. It's typical CW portion, which is also, it's a convention, a worldwide convention. And then you have a lot of digital modes like FT8, RTTY, PS31, etc. And then I would say starting from 14.15, you have more SSB or speaking, or let's say phone activity. Okay, it's really a phone activity. It's on the upper sideband because we are above the 10 megahertz. Okay, remember, convention is also below the 10 megahertz. You have lower sideband, and above the 10 megahertz in the shortwave bands, you have upper sideband. Okay, so on the 20 meter band, you have upper sideband. Okay, so it goes to 14.350. Okay, this is where the amateur radio band stops. Okay, the 20 meter band. I think this is on all Yara regions. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's the same on every region. Let's talk about the really specific behaviors of this 20 meter band, and how is the reach, for example, during the morning. The best path during the morning is from east to west. So if you're in Asia, or if you are in Europe, you try to reach Asia, because it's of course it's traveling from east to west, and to Europe if you are in the United States. Okay. And the gray line effect is excellent. You have really good chance into the opposite hemisphere along the terminator. Okay, so you experienced this after years of listening also, and trying to do some DX. You have during the day short to medium hops. So we are speaking about, or we speak about the morning, 1,000 to 3,000 kilometers, plus also some DX. Okay, it's happening. During the midday or late afternoon, you really have worldwide intercontinental paths, so you can really do long range. It's really reliable. We speak about 10 to 15,000 kilometers of range, and the signals are stable. They are strong. Not so much distortion. No QSB or whatsoever. During the day, they really are open, always. There is always somewhere where you have signals on the world, okay? And then it's getting interesting during the evening, the sunset. During the sunset, a few hours after sunset, you have opposite direction compared to sunrise, of course. Americas if you are in Europe, and Europe, Africa if you are in America. So and then again the gray line is absolutely phenomenal to have long distance connections. And during the evening, long haul QSOs are dominating. You don't have short hops, so short skip, they disappear during the night. Okay, and then in the deep night, in middle of the night, before sunrise, there are still lots of transoceanic DXs possible when you have high solar activity, but generally weaker. Okay. During the deep night, the local QSOs, they may drop, and DX connections remain open. So this is a typical behavior and just before sunrise again. Okay, so you will have some fading also. Signals disappear, they start fading and they disappear. Okay. Typical ranges during the nighttime, I would say the short hops are around 500 to 2,000 kilometers. NVIS and regional. The medium range, yes, you can also have some medium range from 2,000 to 6,000 kilometers during the daytime, and then of course in the night you have a long distance. So, and gray line, of course, it's very, very great. Okay. In the summer you have of course a little bit more of noise, thunderstorms, etc., and in the winter it's a really quiet band. It's a very quiet band, and again, you don't need a lot of big antennas. It's very easy to work DX also with a dipole, and but if you have a beam, a Yagi, then DX is just a question of turning on the radio. Very easy. Okay, so I would say those are the main points, I would say, on the 20-meter band. Of course, you are welcome to add some more characteristics that I may have forgotten. And otherwise, yes, I will just have you a little tour around my shack. This is my radio shack. This is my old lady sitting down there, and then I have a little bit modern transceiver from ICOM, and yes, and then on my back there is some old and new handhelds sitting around, and some very old stuff. Okay, maybe some of you remember this one. This is a very old Kenwood radio. I think a very similar radio is in the Die Hard movie of, you may know, Bruce Willis. He was the policeman, the police officer operating with. It's not exactly the same, but it's the same era of radios. So, just yes, and well, I will not get you through all the collection now. I also like those old and historic magazines. I found this one on a flea market. Those are magazines from 1935. Okay, there are. It's an old catalog with prices from another time, and radio and tubes. I'll just show you some of some examples. Okay, so like this. Maybe some older people remember that time when these. There's also another one from 1936. It's a Allied Radio Corporation. So those magazines have seen other times. Okay, I don't want to bother you any longer. I thank you for watching, and let me know if there are some questions about the 20-meter band. And it was fun for me to explain. Thank you, and have a great time, and many DX. Bye bye. 73 Hotel Bravo 9 Golf Foxtrot Papa. Bye bye.